All right, Gamers Den, listen up. A lot of people have been asking, exactly how close to the original Zeldas is this going to be? Are all the general items we're used to seeing in the Zeldas going to be a part of the game? The Master Sword, the Hylian Shield, the Green Tunic, you name it. And I know you guys have probably already seen some of the videos online about this, so what I'm going to share with you is probably a little bit on the older news, but I think I have a better take on this. All right, so you've heard that there are, I don't know, let's say 100 minor, I think they're called mazes or something like that. That you got to go through, get all your powers and everything, and then four or so main dungeons. Well, if you go into all the major games, whether it be Skyward Sword, Twilight Princess, or even go back to Majora's Mask and or Ocarina of Time, along with many others. Each one kind of gives the purpose that, Skyward Sword and Twilight Princess, you pretty much had to earn the green tunic. And there's a lot of theories about whether or not, um, how you go about this. So the growing conspiracy, I apologize for the noise and the absence for a minute. The growing conspiracy is, as I'm sure you know on the internet, is that you got to complete most of the dungeons, and all of a sudden you get the hero's tunic, which is the green one. So everybody's basically saying, well, do you think this is this way? Do you think it's that way? And the reality is, I think it might be something you can unlock earlier. I don't think it, depending on how the story turns out, it might not be that big of an item in the game. Now, it's usually an unlockable item after you win a certain amount of bosses, a certain amount of dungeons and stuff. You might get it in the first, whatchamacallit, in the first dungeon for all you know. I mean, we haven't been shown a whole list of weapons here in terms of what we have and what we don't have. Bows and arrows, swords, axes, things of that nature are almost common. So to say that there's going to be not one but multiple green tunics is definitely a possibility. The idea that maybe there's an armored green tunic or a cloth green tunic, and one you get in a dungeon and one you find around, under a rock or something, is really going to be up to the gameplay. But before I get into all mine and everything, I just want to show you real quick, because I am trying to reference this from the Zelda Informer. Game over as Jesse believes Breath of the Wild's green tunic given after all the shrines are completed. I like his idea. I've actually watched it myself, and I like the idea. But I've never really believed that the green tunic has been the absolute symbol of what Zelda is. I understand that it is like the hero's tunic and everything of that way. But he starts out basically saying in Twilight Princess, you're told by Farron, after first transferring back to human form, that it's not only is the green tunic you're now wearing a sign of power to the chosen one that comes from comes from within Link, but it is representation of now awakened form. Link is even told that the garb is not just an outfit, it is an ancient hero chosen by the gods and something that dwells within him. So we could just, after a certain time period, see his clothes magically change green. and have something happen to that. They also went on to talk about Twilight Print or the other Zeldas as well, Skyward Sword, among others. So basically, it says you complete the Russian Skyward Sword. Once you fully complete that quest, Link is given the Hylian Shield as his reward. So it might differ as to where you get your green tunic from, but do I still believe there will be only one green tunic? Yes, there's only one highly skilled, one master sword. And I do believe there will be a green tunic, but like people have gotten certain items before, like the carry sale or whatever it's called, by cheating or doing special things beforehand. I believe that at some point you might be able to acquire things like the Master Sword, the Green Tunic, the Hylian Shield way before, hopefully, you complete the major quests needed. And somebody of mine told me, or somebody that I know told me that they know somebody who actually had gotten to a point to where they could play the actual game for some beta test or something, and they were actually able to face Ganondorf in the tower, which is supposed to be possible, with pretty much starting the game, going straight to it, and taking a few hours and whatever to go and fight him. They didn't say whether or not they could win, but you know, do I think that the green tunic is going to be something represented in the game as something very magical? Yes, but because the sale as it is able to be gotten at a certain point, I think the Hylian Shield and the Master Sword, along with the Green Tunic, might also be able to be unlocked earlier in the game as well. If you do special things, beat certain quests, all sorts of different things, along with, cheats and other things. So, thank you.